Welcome back. It's Monday. They painted the grapple. Then we had to build, they just tacked together the guard. We were short a guard. So they got that built. Jeff did a wonderful job on painting it. It was funny. He painted it, and then the sun come out. Would come through the window, and you can see some streaks in it. So he did another coat today. Oh, it looks beautiful. The chipper's coming along really well. We're only missing one thing, and that's antifreeze, which is really important. We have her half full of antifreeze, so we got to get some more antifreeze in her. I'll go over everything that I think that we haven't covered that we've done since we haven't done an update video. Done quite a bit, and I listen to you guys. We've done quite a bit. So today we did a lot of electrical work. That's why that box is open, and this box is open. Tracking down some stuff. Put a new relay in here. There's just some wearing issues like this right here that need to get fixed. And just you can see like right here. So I tore into that. Just looking things over before we fire it up. Still have to wire in our little Webasto. I think that's just about wired in. Get that done. Don't that look fancy? Those were gray before. Put a new emergency stop button in there and a new horn switch in there. Got that done today. And then loop those together so that we can fire this up tomorrow. Just got that put back together. I'll see if I can find that. And like I said, I listened to you guys. That yellow idea was a great idea. Somebody commented that we should make those yellow so you can see them from like a mile away. And that's what we're doing. So yeah, that worked out great. Conveyor's not on. That's gonna be like the last thing we do. That box looks magnificent. Emergency stop, and I did a little bit of work on those. Painted that too. Got to figure out this mess. We are missing a one for the low hydraulic oil shut off, and then we need to plug these back in. And we got the low hydraulic oil. We got to put that in the tank yet. We were searching here today because we couldn't find the reverse for the fan reverse. So we worked on that, figured that out. That is the black and blue right there wire. Just FYI, just so you guys know, that's what's going on there. But that box, I mean, it looks a lot better black than ugly gray. So that's well been fixed. And as you can tell, everything has a chain hook to every pin. Everything. So, I mean, that keeps the door shut. Speed sensors on there. Ryan's got the bracket though right here for the speed sensor up there. He just has to weld that on tomorrow. So the wire them babies in. But that doesn't have to be done to fire it up. The reason we want to fire it up because we want to see exactly what's leaking, what's not leaking. So I did get the yoke done on Friday. It looks professional. So that's all plumbed in, ready to go. Just waiting on the pins. I don't think they're quite done. So we'll get the pins done, and then this will be all ready to go. That's all plumbed in, 100%. I should do some grease hoses back in there. I just got the grease fittings, so I can make a couple more grease hoses in there. That's an update on that. Cabs, we got one issue that we have to find. I think we got a ground issue. You flip the lights on from the cab, it shuts your radio and all the other electronics off. So we got to track that down too. We'll do that tomorrow. They've installed those on everything. All the ladders have those. Like I said, all the pins have changed. We painted that today. Nice, beautiful. But look at this. It's so bright the camera can't even capture it. That looks professional. You can, like I said, you can see it from a mile away where stuff has to get greased. But I just got more in, so I got to do it to these yet. Those aren't done, but and those two up there. So we'll do those tomorrow. Look at all the pin action. You know what I mean? Look at that. I mean, just everything is just super awesome. Extra awesome. Yeah, well, all the pins got chains on them, so you don't lose any pins. Fancy. All the wiring's been fixed. All of this was exposed before. So we went over and Brian went over and redone every one of them. Whoever did the wiring on this was not, wasn't pretty. It was not pretty. Some have all been redone. Brian worked on wiring up in there today. And I painted the box for the antifreeze in there. So that's all painted now. Brian worked on the wiring right here for the reversing fan. That got done. I think there's a little more wiring to do up there, and then we'll be real close. We got to reroute this exhaust. Somebody commented, and we're well aware that flames come out and you can start a fire. That wouldn't be any good. We don't want no fire started. Got these done. Don't that look good? Like I said, you can see them from a ways away. Them are just a... Forget who commented that, and I'm sorry, but that was a great idea. Great idea. So the Webasto, it's actually got the cover on it, so that's done. We just got to reroute that out here so that it's blowing this way and not straight down into the ground and chips and stuff. So no fires, but we should be, if we can get antifreeze tomorrow. This will be heading outside, getting fired up. So we will see exactly. Like we can put the grapple on it tomorrow, or just plug the lines. But we need to see what works and what doesn't work. That's the one thing that we haven't. We've never kicked the clutch in. We've never done any of that. Everyone's wanting to know rims for the chipper. Yeah, everybody's worried about new rims for the chipper, so it doesn't look like that. It'll look really sharp. But yeah, we haven't had the clutch kicked in. We're worried about the clutch balance. We might have to get the clutch balanced, chipper disc balanced, because Brian did a lot of welding inside that disc. So, but we don't know any of that till we kick the clutch in. We've never kicked the clutch in. We've never had any of the flail drums on. Never had the conveyor on. We never had any of that. We got it here, and we literally re-hosed everything. Got a new paint job. Rebuilt all your feed wheel motors. Rebuilt every feed wheel. Yeah, we've done all that. So, I mean, changed all the fluids down here. So we will literally, we don't know. I mean, all the belts have been changed on everything except your chipper disc belts. Like your belts up there for your fan, belts there. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know exactly what's wrong with everything yet. We will find out maybe tomorrow. If everything goes, if we can get our antifreeze, fluids have been changed on the V12. But I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about because you don't think about it a whole lot, but the stuff we haven't done yet, you know. So this is your clutch controller here. That's how you kick her in and engage it. Like I said, we've changed all the fluid and changed everything like that, but we haven't actually figured anything out. So if everything happens tomorrow, if we can get antifreeze here, get it outside in the morning, because we need to get this thing out in the woods. Like we're in a predicament. So we will see when we fire it up exactly what we have to fix. You know what I mean? Like if you have to. We know we have a couple O-rings to pull these out, to fix here, and a couple of these valves, but it's not a huge deal, and the spools are leaking. Not a big deal, but when you fire it up, if you have like 5 or 6 leaking, and some pumps leaking, and other stuff leaking, then we get into a problem where we're not gonna have enough time, and we have to pull the other chipper. The old chipper should be here tomorrow, the Model 23, to get fixed. Because next week we're going to need to be back to 2 crews. So, old chipper show up tomorrow. Hopefully this can go outside tomorrow and get fired up, which means we have to prime all these pumps. prime your clutch, pump, prime everything up, and then we will see exactly what we have happening. Like I said, it's kind of weird to talk about because you're actually thinking about it. We don't know. We don't know what works, what doesn't work. You know what I mean? We just know we've basically rehosed this whole machine because the way it was before, we didn't want to fire it up. We didn't want to engage everything. The clutch fluid was nasty. There's no point in kicking the clutch in. There's no point in any of that. So we didn't want to engage anything for how long it's been sitting. We'd rather change it all. Now we know that there's nothing in these lines. Fluid's all good. Antifreeze is good. Hydraulic fluid's good. The fuel, we're out of fuel. There's no fuel in it. We have to get some fuel in it, which ain't going to be nothing. But we drained all the fluids because we want this thing ready to go. We don't want to mess anything up because we just didn't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what works, what doesn't work. I'm excited, yet slightly nervous. It'll be interesting. We will definitely need some spotters around the machine to tell us to shut it down if something doesn't work, because it'll be interesting. But boy, that box looks crispy. There, now we're ready to fire. But yeah, we fixed a lot of stuff on this. It's been a long time coming, guys. April. End of April's when it showed up here, and we moved it. We went down to Canada long before that to drop it and get it here. Some people were asking about the brakes and all that jazz underneath there. That all got fixed when it was in Canada, down in Sarnia, when it had to stay there for a couple months for frost laws. It got pulled there. We made a phone call, and the wonderful people down there went through the brakes, changed some valves, adjusted some stuff, so that Sergi had some brakes when he come up here to the wonderful central Michigan. So, yeah. So all that's good underneath there. Conveyor should be able to go on, but there's no point in putting that on. It's just if the conveyor was on right now, it's going to stick out like 2 more feet, and you can't walk through here hardly. So that's why it's not on there. Just in your way. It's a lot easier to get around it. That'll probably be one of the last things to go on. But yeah, everything's looking on the uppity up. Pins are just looking beautiful everywhere. Jeff's been working on them. I'm excited. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous to see what works, what doesn't work. Obviously, you hope everything works, but there's still that chance that I don't know. You never know. Like if you just look in there, we did a lot of work in there. All that's been redone. So everything. There's a couple suction lines. Those are shafts down there, but a couple drain lines and suction lines that we didn't change. Who knows? Fun. But when you look at something like that, they've all been changed. It'll be interesting. Be really interesting. Thanks for watching. Hopefully tomorrow, who knows if we'll get a firing up of this or working on the old chipper or both. But the old tumbler needed some love. She's busted up. Thanks for watching. Just keep rolling.